Welcome to yet another video on how to attract back an avoidant. I am Yankee Akiteng, also known as Toronto Love Doctor, and you can find me at askthelovedoctor.com. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to make an avoidant want to get close. When we think of an avoidant, the first thing that comes to mind is that they are afraid of getting close. And they are. Every time you get too close to an avoidant, they'll pull away or push you away. What most of us don't ask is why an avoidant is afraid of getting close to anyone. Even those of us who understand why an avoidant is an avoidant, we don't empathize enough why they are an avoidant in the first place. We just want them to stop being afraid of getting close and stop being an avoidant. But we do not try to understand them, like really understand from a place of empathy. Imagine an avoidant as somebody sitting in a room all by themselves. They've locked the doors and locked the windows too. Something bad happened to them that made them too afraid to get close to anyone or to trust anyone. What would you do to make an avoidant get out of the room, trust you, and won't get close to you? For one, you could scare the daylight out of them. Yell and scream and tell them that something really bad is going to happen if they don't come out of the room. Or you could use reverse psychology to tell them that what you really want is for them to keep the door shut and stay in the room. The third option is to ignore them and hope that when they realize that no one cares, they will come out of the room on their own. Fourth option is beg, plead, and promise them that if they come out of the room, you will protect them and take care of them. Or you could sit by the door, talk to them and let them know that you are there for them, and when they feel safe enough to walk out, you'll be waiting on the other side of the door. Only one of these options provides somebody who doesn't trust others or is afraid of getting close with the safety and security that they need to learn to trust people who say they love them. Safety and security for an avoidant is not what many of us think of when we are dealing with an avoidant partner or an avoidant ex. The way many of us deal with an avoidant just confirms to them that it is not safe to come out of the room. Even if it's cold, dark, and lonely in there, it's safer than coming out. Given the way that most of us deal with an avoidant, you can't blame an avoidant for thinking that it's not safe to get close to anyone, that no one understands them, and even the people who claim to love them will hurt them in the end. How do you make an avoidant think and feel that it's safe to trust you and safe to get close to you? Number one, don't judge or ridicule an avoidant for being an avoidant. There's nothing wrong with trying to understand someone we love, to understand why they are the way they are, why they do the things they do, and how we can better relate to them. But for an avoidant to feel that you understand them and want a better relationship with them, they need to first feel that you don't judge them for being an avoidant. Some of the ways that an avoidant may feel judged is getting angry and disparaging them for being an avoidant. This is not going to make an avoidant want to get close to you, let alone trust you. Some of my clients have told me that they feel judged when somebody calls them a fearful avoidant or a dismissive avoidant. Many avoidants, especially dismissive avoidants, don't like to be labeled. And you can't blame them. Just Google a description of a dismissive avoidant. Nobody wants to be walking around thinking that people think that they don't have any friends, they can't form relationships, or freak out when somebody tries to be intimate with them. It is true that there's some dismissive avoidants who fit this description, but not all dismissive avoidants are the same. I know that from first-hand experience because I work with them. An avoidant may also feel judged if you're trying to fix them, randomly sending them videos and articles about what's wrong with them, or pointing out everything they say or everything they do as being typical of avoidant attachment. Even if you mean well, this is just too much judgment. Judgment is a form of rejection, and if you want an avoidant to feel safe enough to want to get close to you, stop rejecting them. Number two, be consistent in how you show up when dealing with an avoidant. Nothing says to an avoidant that you are not safe than being loving and caring one day and ignoring and punishing them the next day. For many avoidants, this is what their childhood was like, and the reason they are avoidant in the first place. If love or care was given, sometimes it was conditional on them being good, or it was used to manipulate them into doing or giving what the caregiver wanted from them. And if you're doing exactly the same thing, why would an avoidant want to get close to you? Yes, avoidants themselves are loving and caring one day and ignoring and punishing the next day. But that's why they are called avoidants. They do the things to avoid getting close to anyone. If you're trying to create distance and avoid getting close to an avoidant, by all means do the same things avoidants do. But if you're trying to get close to an avoidant and want them to feel safe enough to get close to you, it is important that an avoidant feels that you can be relied on, that you are consistent in your words and actions, and in the way you show them love. Even if being close doesn't come naturally to an avoidant can learn to be comfortable with being close because you make them feel safe and secure. Number 3, respect an avoidant's need for space. Respecting somebody's need for space is allowing them to take the space when they need it. Giving an avoidant space when they haven't indicated that they need space doesn't communicate safety. Avoidants know when they need space. It is something that is wired in them and needs to be triggered for them to want space. They don't need you telling them, I'm giving you space, have your space, take it. An avoidant will be thinking, okay, what was that about? If they are fearful avoidant, they will think that they did something to make you want to give them space. And if they are dismissive avoidant, they'll think that you are being dramatic and passive-aggressive. And if there's something that dismissive avoidants don't like, it is drama. They don't want to have to deal with your uncontrolled emotions, and they will distance from it. Force-feeding an avoidant space is not about giving an avoidant space. It is about your own anxiety and fear of rejection or abandonment. Avoidant or even secure. It is hard to get close to somebody who takes everything personally. Someone who sees rejection and abandonment in every word you say and every action you take. So if you want an avoidant to stop distancing and resisting getting close to you, act like somebody who knows how to get close without causing too much emotional stress. Number 4, listen, empathize, and respond. Granted, it's hard to have a conversation with somebody who doesn't open up about what they think or feel, but you should try anyways. Securely attached people do it with some ease. You can do it too if you take the time to learn how to communicate with an avoidant. Many studies show that avoidants tend to open up and communicate more when you use active listening and empathetic communication. Empathy speaks to the deepest part of a human experience, that part in all of us that needs to feel seen, heard, valued, and understood. A huge part of empathetic communication is the ability to understand how another person perceives their experience, their thought processes, and their emotional reactions. Think of that person in that lonely room all alone, afraid to trust and afraid to get close. Put yourself in that room and try to think, feel, and experience connection and closeness the way an avoidant experiences it, and reflect back that experience to an avoidant. An avoidant may still feel that you don't get them, but they will see that you are trying. And if they can overcome their fear of getting close, you are that someone that they can trust waiting on the other side of the door, someone who makes them feel safe, someone who makes them want to get close. These are just a few things you can do to make an avoidant feel safe and not only want to get close, but also want to get back together. If you're looking for more ways to make an avoidant feel safe, go to my website. see so many articles on how to make an avoidant feel safe. It may be a different approach to dealing with an avoidant, one that you may not be used to, but it is the only approach that provides someone who doesn't trust others or is afraid of getting close with the safety and security that they need to learn to trust and want to get close. If you find my videos helpful, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit that notification bell for more videos like this. Until the next video, stay safe and stay loving.